Hi, I'm Jackie Rubio, and I work for the Original Source in China Star. We are located in Prineville, Oregon, and I have been a graduate of supported employment for about 6 years now, and I currently work for the same employer that I worked for when I first became on the program.
Great. Tell us a little bit about what were your circumstances before supported employment?
My circumstances before supported employment, they were pretty difficult. I had been a stay-at-home mom, in and out of different jobs, nothing very stable. Had a pretty up and down marriage, had four small children, single mom. I actually was involved with child welfare, had some struggles in my family, and I was actually on TANF, living on a very small monthly allotment. And I had a lot of appointments and things I had to take care of through that. I had in-home skills builders and a lot of different people in and out of my life. We had DHS come visit a lot. We had, CASA workers and in-home skills building. It was just a lot that was going on in my life when I came to supported employment. I actually was in a depression anxiety group through Lutheran Services, and I heard some people in the group talking about the help that they were receiving looking for a job. We all had some disabilities or some mental things going on, some mild, some not so mild, and people seemed like they were being successful. So I know that somehow I got a referral sent over to Corey Kawana, who was the supported employment specialist at the time, and we went from there.
What kinds of things did your employment specialist help you out with?
My employment specialist, Corey, what we did at first was a lot of networking because I had just so much craziness going on appointment wise, and I was spread pretty thin. I didn't, at that point in my life, I didn't have the capabilities on my own to go get, uh, get an application turned in. I was a nervous wreck. I had just too much going on. I couldn't stay focused on that. So I think a lot of things that she did was definitely helped contain that and help stay focused, help with paperwork, things that I became overwhelmed on. Was definitely paperwork and just the thought of going to interviews or things like that. So I know basically what happened was she was able to go with and developed a job. She went to an employer that was new in town and talked to them about her clients and her thing, and they were open to having somebody come out. It was going to be a very small position, to do janitorial type work for 2 to 3 hours a week, and that's kind of how she got it started.
Great, great. And then was anybody else involved? Did we meet? How did your organization level clear out just a little bit for you to want to look for work?
Well, I had wraparound services through through Lutheran Community Services. I had DHS involved. I had was in TANF, so I was part of the jobs program. I had those people involved. I had in-home skills builders. We had CASA workers. We had just an array of people that through DHS. My children each had their own lawyer. There was just such a huge array of people, and Corey was really able to network and to sit everybody down and to get everybody on the same page to where it could even become a possibility to look for work,
Yeah, great.
let alone find a job, but just to get to the step of where I could actually have enough time to look for a job.
Right, right. So tell us a little bit about your job right now. What are you doing, and are you still a janitor?
I'm definitely not still a janitor. The company that I work for is a wholesale company, and they were actually based in San Diego, California. They had an entire sales office, and they had moved the warehouse location here to Central Oregon. It would be less expensive to ship and just seemed like a smarter move. But they had the sales office there in Vista, California. So within a couple of weeks, actually, of working there, being a janitor, I had spoken with the operations manager, and he said that they were considering putting a phone line in so that somebody could answer phones there. And I was extremely exuberant and told him that I could answer the phone and I could do that very well. So they did actually put a phone line in to answer phones. Now, my company infrastructure is mainly in Beijing, China. So the president lived there, the company, the owner, and his family, and we have all of our manufacturers and all of our suppliers in China. And then the vice president of the company, he lived in San Diego, California, and then the operations manager lived here in Central Oregon. And once I started answering the phones and getting more comfortable, they actually asked me if I would be willing to make phones to previous already existing clients and verify addresses and try to get a catalog out to them to make sure that they knew what the newest products were and things like that. So I did that, and I really enjoyed it. It was wonderful. I could easily make conversation over the phone. Engaged in it quite well, was extremely friendly, and that became so apparent that what was happening was the clients I was calling to send a catalog out to were actually ordering with me on the telephone. Now, I didn't have a computer. I didn't have any really any information on the products themselves, but so I would take the order and write it down, and then they would send it to the salespeople in California who would begin to get credit for it as sales. So within a couple of months of that happening, the vice president, who is his main goal is to do sales. He's a salesman himself. He's a trainer. He's got away with words. He said, there's no way we can have this. There can't be somebody sitting in the Prineville office selling our products to a client when they're just trying to get them a catalog. So he, at that point in time, decided to come and do a little bit of training with me and to make me an actual account manager.
What does account manager mean?
Account manager, I am responsible for making sales mostly. I have accounts that I need to take care of. I need to call them and make sure that they have enough product in. I keep track of inventory for them. Basically, I consider myself an assistant buyer for them, actually. Um, and the thing that changed the most was I was very computer illiterate. I was very intimidated by technology and computers. So the thing that really changed was from just talking on the telephone and handwriting orders down. We now have our own stations. I have a computer. I have programs that I had to learn. I have, multitasking skills that I really never knew that I had.
So tell us a little bit about where you're at now and how supported employment has helped you in doing everything to have you be where you're at today, right now.
Well, I think that supported employment helped with the technical things of it. Just building a resume, just practicing interview questions, just having the confidence to speak to employers that and to not feel, intimidated. I had a lot of support that way. I think at the time that's probably what I needed the most was just somebody to say, you can do it. You can do it. Look at you. You're doing it. You're fine. So that was probably the biggest thing. And then also just to help follow up. I think what people don't realize is if you haven't had a job or if you haven't done well at work, you're going to make mistakes, and mistakes that normally would probably get you fired or let go. And so supported employment would come in on a regular basis and make sure with the employer that I was still at the level that I needed to be, and if there was any additional help that they could offer, if they needed to come to my house and help me do a computer class, just anything like that to make sure that I could continue at the office of where I was working.
So in closing, Jackie, tell us where do you see yourself now, and where do you see yourself in the future?
Well, I know that I have been currently there for about 6 years. I have continued to be the top salesperson of the company, which is a big deal. And I have paid vacations. And I would have never guessed 5 years ago that that would be my future. So I think that the skills, if I didn't stay with the company I'm at, the skills that I have learned and the abilities that I didn't know I had will help me to find an even better job with more paid vacation, with more opportunities, I know that I was able to, take my family to Las Vegas. It was, a condominium paid for things. So I think that my future would be more of that.
Yeah.
And even it will probably still be more of that with the current company that I'm at. But now I have the skills and the confidence to go to another employer if need be.
Now you say thank you.
Thank you. I hope you guys are having a great day.